Hello all, I'll be explaining the problem C for the Delgix round. Now what does the problem say? So basically you are given a sequence of opening and closing parentheses and you want to find out how many subsequences or how many substrings of this particular sequence. For example, this substring, or you can take this substring, you can take something like this substring. So how many of those substrings are valid parenthesis sequences? Okay. So, for example, in this substring, this is a valid parenthesis subsequence or a substring, not a subsequence. This one is also a valid parenthesis substring. Now, okay, how do we do it? Also, one more thing that this is this has a very large length. So, what they do is they will concatenate. So the input is in this form. If this is the string, so they will first they will concatenate these four together, then the closing brackets, then the opening brackets, then the closing, then the opening. So the string would be of something like 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. That means first there will be 4 opening brackets, followed by 1 closing bracket, followed by 2 opening brackets, then 3 closing brackets, then 1 opening bracket. So the length of the string can be very large. It can also exceed 10 ki power 9 because these numbers they are saying are also like they can go up till 10 ki power 9. So how do we do it? So there are two things first of all that we need to know. One is when is a bracket sequence valid? One second. So when is a bracket sequence valid? Well, like there is one way to like you can do it using a stack, but another way to do it is suppose for example you have a sequence like this. What you can do is you can convert that into a array form. So convert into array form like this. This would become a 1. Take an opening bracket as 1 and take a closing bracket as minus 1. Now take its prefix sum. This would become 1, 0, 1, 0. So the first condition has to be that the number of opening and closing brackets need to be the same. So closing brackets equals to the number of opening brackets in a particular sequence. So for this sequence, first you will check that condition. Okay. And the second thing is once you make the prefix array like this, then every value in the prefix array should be greater than or equal to 0 every time. For example, take a bracket sequence or which looks something like take a bracket sequence like this. So there are 2 opening, 3 closing and 1 opening. So the prefix sum would look something like 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1 and a 0. So the last element would be 0 always if the first condition is valid. But you can see here a minus 1 is encountered. That means that it is not a valid sequence. Fine. Now another thing you need to know is that if a sequence is valid, for example, if this is a sequence or there is some other sequence like this or this, then there is only one possible way to map. So there is only one possible mapping between the opening and closing brackets. So what do I mean by this is if this is a valid sequence, then this opening bracket is mapped with this one, this closing. This opening is mapped with this closing. This opening is mapped with this closing, and this is by this. There is no any other possible mapping. That means this is always counted as a single valid sequence. It's not possible that this might be mapped with this one or something like that. That will not happen. Now let's move to the solution. So another thing that we will first understand is, suppose you have got a sequence. It can be valid or it can also be invalid. For example, in this sequence, if I make the prefix sum array, it would be something like 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, sorry, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, then it would be minus 2 again, then a minus 3, then a minus 4, then a minus 5, minus 6, and a minus 5 again, I think. 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. I have messed it up again. But whatever, okay. Sorry, I'll just write it this time. It would be, it will have a 1, then a 2, then a 3, then a minus, then a 2, then a 1, then a 0, then a minus 1, then a 0 again, then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and minus 0. I think this is correct, something like this. So in this sequence, what I am trying to say is, I'll try to find out one thing, and that is how many opening brackets. So the thing is that suppose you have got two boxes here, and this one can supply opening brackets, new opening brackets, and this one can supply new closing brackets. Okay. So how many opening brackets do I need to supply such that the sequence is valid? Okay, and the conditions for a valid sequence were these two. So see, if I supply, suppose, one opening bracket extra, what will happen to this prefix sum? Every value will be incremented by 1. So I will basically look at the smallest value in this. It can still be wrong, guys. I might have calculated this wrong again, but I'm not going to calculate it again. So let's just assume that there's a minus 4 here. So I will have to at least add 4 more opening brackets. If I add 4 more opening brackets, then every value in the prefix sum array would be incremented by 4, and this would become a 0. And then to match this second condition, number of opening and number of closing should be equal. I will basically just count what are the new number of opening brackets. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 and 9. So there will be 9 opening brackets. And currently there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 closing brackets. So this would supply an extra closing bracket to match this condition. So basically this is something you need to understand, that if you are given a sequence and you have got you have the ability to add opening brackets before it and add closing brackets after it, how many opening brackets, minimum number of opening brackets you need to add. Okay. So this is something that I have calculated. What I have made is I have made this DP. I've actually called it as AP. So AP of IJ basically tells me the minimum element in the prefix sum array if my sequence is from I to J. And how do you calculate it? So basically, to calculate it, suppose to calculate dp of ij, you know the answer for dp of, you know the answer for dp of I plus 1 j. If you have got maybe this sequence from I to j, and you know the answer to this sequence, that is what is the minimum element if you created a sequence from I plus 1 to j. Suppose the prefix array for this sequence completely looks like 1, 2, minus 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. And so the minimum value is suppose say minus 2. Now if you want to find the answer for I to j, what will you do is, suppose you have a suppose this is an opening bracket. If this is an opening bracket, then this array of this value would be 1. So prefix array mein every element would be incremented by 1 for I to j. So they will find, basically it would be dp of I plus 1 j plus 1, something like that. Or if it's a closing bracket, then every value would be decremented by 1. So this would become a minus 3. So it would be the minimum value minus 1. Suppose you have found this APR. It's APR. APR. Okay, so like this is what the AP of ij basically means, that if I have a sequence from I to j and I create the prefix array which like I created before. For example, if your suppose sequence is like this. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So AP of 1, comma 2 would be, in this sequence, what's the minimum value? So if I if I show the sequence here 1 and 2, then I make the array, then I make the prefix array, so the value would be 0. And you would have to construct this API somehow with the way that I showed here. Now what do we do? So now I will actually start to create my, now I have solved it using dynamic programming, and I have created a DP where DP of ij basically means that the number of valid parenthesis sequences from I to j. Okay, so suppose that from I to j, the array which was given to us is something like this, and then you've got this and this and this. So this is 3, this is 2, this is 1, this is 1, 1, this would be 3. So from I to j, the array looks something like this and the string looks something like this. So how do I calculate dp of ij? First of all, like some uh, small things, that when I'm trying to calculate dp of ij, there are some possibilities. For example, I can choose to not include this. This is ith index, basically this is the jth index. So I'll simply first write the recurrence, then I will explain. So dp of ij would be at least this much. So it would be dp of I plus 1 j plus dp of I j minus 1 minus dp of I plus 1 j minus 1. This is what I initialize it with. We will add some more things to it, but this is how I have initialized it. So what does this mean is, I can choose to include the ith index while calculating the number of subsequences, or I can choose to not include it. So if I have choose to ignore it, then it would be a from dp of I plus 1 to j, this part. I can also maybe choose to include this but skip the jth value. So dp of I and j minus 1. Basically, I'm calculating in this range, I'm calculating in this range. Now in both of these ranges, you see this thing in the middle. From I plus 1 to j minus 1, it will be counted twice. So I have to subtract it once. Okay. Now I have taken these three cases. The first case when I am not including this, the second case when I am not including this, and the third case I am subtracting is where I am not including either of them. I am not including the ith part and not including the jth part. Now what case am I left with? I am left with the case where I have to include at least one opening bracket from here and at least one closing bracket from here simultaneously. Okay, so for that part, see, look at the string in between. This is like what the string looks like. How many, and if I want to add some opening brackets and I want to add some closing brackets, I need to, like, when I'm adding, I want to make the sequence as a valid sequence. So what I will do is I will look in this sequence from I plus 1 to j minus 1. And like I said before, uh, how many elements do you need to add in a given in a sequence, and you have two guys, one is providing opening brackets, the other is providing closing brackets. So this is a similar situation. You have a sequence from I plus 1 to j minus 1. You have this ith guy which provides you with opening brackets, the jth guy which provides you with closing brackets. So how many minimum number of opening brackets do I need to provide such that the sequence is a valid sequence? So I would basically have AP of I plus 1 j minus 1, which would come out to be minus 1 minus 2, which would come out to be minus 2 in this case. That means that I need to supply at least two opening brackets. That means I need to supply at least two opening brackets. These two opening brackets I am supplying. Now when I am supplying at least two opening brackets, what are the number of total opening brackets? It would be 2 plus the number of opening brackets in this range. This can be calculated by maintaining a prefix array. So it would be 2 plus 3, 4. So there are total 4 opening brackets. Now if there are 4 opening brackets, how many closing brackets there need to be? There need to be 4 closing brackets as well. How many closing brackets are there already existing? 1, 2, 3. So 3 closing brackets are already there. So this guy has to provide only one closing bracket. That means that this range, this thing is a valid sequence. That means this, there, this is a valid sequence, okay? And this contains both the ith elements, one element at least, the jth ka one element at least. So dp of ij, may we will add one, at least one. Now how many more can I get? If this is already a valid sequence, and I again have two guys who can add elements to the front and to the back. So if I add one more opening bracket, then I would have to add one more closing bracket. So I'm seeing that, okay, this guy has one extra opening bracket remaining, and this has one, like this has two closing brackets remaining. So I will add to dp of ij minimum of opening left, so left opening plus left closing. This is the gist of it. So few things which I've maintained is that AP array. Then I have maintained two prefix arrays to find the number of opening brackets in any range. And when I'm calculating dp of ij, basically there will be like few possibilities. The first possibility is that I do not include the ith index. Second is I do not include the jth index, and this would be a redundant case. It has to be subtracted once since it would be added twice. And now if I'm adding both the ith element and the jth element, say at least one opening and one closing bracket, then how many minimum opening bracket do I need to supply? After that, I'll calculate how many opening brackets are remaining. Similarly, I'll do this for this as well, and then I'll add that to the dp of ij. I'll explain, like I'll show my code for this. Uh, this question is a bit hard, tough to explain. One more thing is, you can also make the dp array iteratively or recursively. So if you want to make it recursively, that's also fine. So what I'm doing is I am creating these dp arrays. Second is the ap array. Like I said, ap of ij has contains the minimum in the range from, if you are making a sequence from I to j, and the minimum means the minimum of that prefix array which I created. And then these are two arrays which will help me in finding the number of opening and closing brackets in any range. So I will go through all the elements in the array. If it's an even index, that means it's an opening bracket. That's how the input is given. Otherwise, it's a closing bracket. This basically makes these two arrays. Now, what this does is this makes the AP array. So, see, if you want to make AP of ij, you need to have the value of AP of, suppose, I plus 1j. So, what is the difference between them? This is, suppose, j minus I. So, the difference between them is j minus I minus 1. So, first I will basically calculate the AP values for lower differences. This would help me. Like, this is how you make it iteratively. You can also make it recursively. Like, for example, I'll first make AP of 0 0. Then I will make AP of 1 1, having a difference of 0. Then AP of 2 2, and so on. Then I would make AP of 1 0 1, AP of 1 2, and I can make these values, since to make AP of 1 2, I need AP of 2 comma 2. This has already been calculated. So on. So basically, I iterate through the gaps. I fix my I fix my j. The current values basically yeah, so this is like one way to make the AP array. Like, you can also make it on your own with some other. Now, how the DP thing goes is, if you're trying to calculate DP of ij, then you will do this, like I said. Now, see, there were some other minor details which I did not discuss. For example, if you're finding DP of ij, okay, and ith index is not an index of closing brackets, it's an index of opening brackets. Then, see, this step you can always do, but then afterwards, the things that we did, for example, this calculation, can only be done if both of these are, this one is opening and this one is closing. So this is basically a check for that. Otherwise, what I do is I take the AP of I plus 1 j minus 1, and I take the absolute of it. The total open are basically the total opening brackets in the range I plus 1 to j minus 1 right now, currently. So I calculate them. Then see, MV basically means how many opening brackets I need to supply. So if my array of I, that is the total number of opening brackets I have at ith index, is less than the number of opening brackets that I need to supply, then I just move forward. I do not handle, I move to the next case. Otherwise, my total opening brackets would be increased by this variable. And similarly, there's a check that the total closing brackets, which are to be supplied by the jth index, if like the jth index, like if I need 5 closing brackets and the jth index only can supply 3, then I will continue. And then basically dp of ij plus equals to minimum of opening left and closing left. So like this is how you will solve the problem. Like the key idea is about that AP array and AP of ij. Like I hope you have understood what I mean by that. Um, like go over this video again, try to implement it on your own. It was a problem which is hard for me to explain as well. But thank you very much for watching. Bye.